Hey everyone, it's Lindsay Gramont, the Homemade Mommy. Thank you so much for joining and taking the time to invest in your learning. Today we have Danette Goodyear, who is one of my upline crown diamonds. She's been with Young Living for 15 years, and she is absolutely incredible and a wealth of information, and she has agreed to spend some time with us this morning to teach us about one of my favorite supplements, BLM. And she's going to go through some of the differences between BLM and AgilEase so that you understand what the differences are and whether you need to take one or the other or both. But I just got to tell you, everyone needs to be taking one of these or both, because what you're going to hear now is going to blow your mind. So get out your pens and paper and make sure that you take notes. And I want you to give Danette a very warm welcome to our group, because she has an organization that is massive and she is taking the time today to spend some time with us. And so I want you to appreciate her by thanking her and by inviting members on your team to join by clicking on the little plus sign with a little person down there and adding them. So I'm going to get Danette in here, so give me 1 second. And again, this is always a video that you can come back to in the group, and I'm also going to load it up to YouTube at www.youtube.com/hmademommy. All right, let me see who is watching and make sure that I can find Danette here. I don't see her yet. There she is. Awesome. Do we have her? I don't think Danette's ever done one of these split screens before. So let's, it looks like it's working. Hello.
Hey guys.
Hey, thanks.
How you doing today?
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining. Look at your beautiful face,
Ah.
your well-rested face.
Well, that's good news. That's all makeup, apparently.
I was just introducing everyone to you and how fabulous you are and what a wealth of information you are, and to remind them to get out their pens and paper, because they are going to be taking notes fast and furious as they learn about this. So I reached out to Danette about BLM because it's one of my favorites too, and she was saying how much she loved it when we were in Utah a couple weeks ago, and I said we should really do some education on this, because I don't think people know enough about BLM and how awesome it is. So thank you so much for taking the time to come in here today.
Yes, thank you so much. Can you hear me okay? Because I can barely hear you. And
oh, really?
Facebook's been weird lately, so sorry about that.
Can everyone else hear? Hopefully they can hear me. I'm talking really loud.
I know, I feel like I am too, and barely hearing anything back. So I just want to thank you, Lindsay, because y'all know what a great leader and a great woman you have with Lindsay Gramont, don't you? I hope you do, because she is amazing. And I just want to edify all of you oily angels, because your team is kicking it for sharing wealth, health, and everything abundant for the Young Living lifestyle all over the world. And I'm so proud of you guys. I know a lot of you are making a living helping people, and like, that's what it's all about, right? I mean, we got to make a living doing something. So why not do something with major purpose and major effect for people? So we're going to talk about 2 products today that are life-changing, really, for people when they're dealing with things, right? And we are going to get started talking about basically the difference between BLM and AgilEase, okay? So just yell at me if you want to jump in on anything, Lindsay.
Okay.
And we'll get started. Okay, so these 2 supplements were developed to provide, somewhat similar health benefits, but many years apart. BLM's been around since before I've been around, and in January it'll be 15 years. So I've been using BLM for at least probably 12, 13 years or so. And because I just feel like it's never too early to start supporting your good bone and muscle and ligament health, right?
Yeah, especially for women. I mean, this is like a huge deal these days. My mom has osteopenia or something, when your bones are not as strong as you would like them to be. And, you go through and you see fall risks in the hospital, and, I don't want to be that person. So I want to do it now. I want to support it now.
That's right. So when we talk about in Young Living that we want to live nice, long lives, I don't want to live long and unhealthy. I want to live long and healthy, right?
Exactly.
Because the other way is just not very fun. So, and uncomfortable. So let's do it right with this. So there are different things with these products. So we'll talk about some of these differences and you can see what's good for you. I personally take both of them every day because of the different actions that they have. So let's talk about them and see what sounds like a good place for you to start if you are not on either of these products. So when I talk about essential oils, I remind people all the time, if you've heard me talk, I've said this to you, you can't use what you don't have. And that goes for oils and that goes for our bodies too, right? So as we get older, we can't use the bodies the way we were meant to if we haven't taken care of it. So BLM is one of those products that I personally have taken for all these years, along with 3 to 4 sulfurzyme, multigreens, longevity, or my omega gives, mineral essence, along with my Nixia Red every morning to support my musculoskeletal health now and later, right? So when people are like, well, I don't have any, joint issues or something like that. I haven't been diagnosed with osteopenia or something like that. And I'm like, man, I don't want to wait for that.
No.
But, encourage your body to create the right kind of cells in the right areas now. Give them the nutrients they need now. So BLM sounds like kind of a funny name, right? But it stands for bone, ligament, muscle. That is what it is. And it is a powerful nutrient combination to help support cartilage and joint health, okay? So let's look at some of the active ingredients in BLM. First off is manganese, then glucosamine sulfate, type 2 chicken collagen, MSM, and then 3 awesome oils, Idaho balsam fir, wintergreen, and clove. I talked about this in Australia actually in April, and they have like different ingredients, right? Different countries allow different ingredients in their products. So it's a little different. So and of course, compliance is different there too. So it was kind of crazy how you're talking. And so when I was preparing for this, I was like, oh yeah, that isn't in our product, but this one is. And so it's kind of crazy. But let's talk about preparing and supporting your structural framework. So collagen is what provides the lattice work, right? The lattice work in your bones. So calcium can come and adhere to it. If you don't have enough of the lattice work, the calcium just goes right through. So when they're like, you got to have calcium for your bones. Well, that's true, but you have to have that lattice work for the calcium to actually adhere to, right? So that is what is one of the main things why we have the collagen in there and why it's so important in there for us. So I've had people use this product really for bone, ligament, muscle support. And because of the collagen, right? Because collagen injections, what do people do with their face, right? All the collagen. And they noticed such a difference in one bottle of BLM because of the collagen that they are taking it not because of the bone, ligament, muscle, although they're getting that benefit too, but they're doing it because their skin looks so good. So great skin support in there too that is not on the label, but a great side benefit. So yay. So BLM, unparalleled quality of the powerful natural ingredients of the type 2 collagen, that MSM and glucosamine sulfate. So let's talk about those. Those are all shown to support joint and cartilage health and normal cell function. Manganese is a trace mineral for our bone, skin, hair, and nails. MSM, which you might know that more with the sulfurzyme, right? I take a lot of sulfurzyme as well. That's our hair, skin, and nails. That's our elemental sulfur that our body needs to create our hair, skin, and nails. But it's also so great for our bone structure, bone metabolism, and enzymes for building bones. So it is found in all of those and a major support for your active lifestyle. And if you're not active, I'd say you almost need it more, right? Because when we're active and we're pounding, on the ground or lifting weights, that helps build strong bones. So we should be doing that anyway, but we need support whether you're doing that or not, right? So, and of course we get 3 of our great Young Living essential oils in BLM2, clove, Idaho balsam fir, and wintergreen. These help not only those nutrients become more bioavailable in our bodies, but they have great action in and of themselves. And I'm going to have to ask you to go to your essential oil reference guides to find out all of those great actions that they have for your body, okay? For your whole structural system. I mean, I use those always topically, but I love that I get them internally with my BLM as well. So, and if any of you know my husband, Jim, you know, he's a cyclist. So he takes BLM to really help with recovery of his joints and muscles as well.
He's not just any cyclist, okay? He he is crazy. He went on a bike from, where was it? All the way across the country, or from north to south?
Yeah, Banff, Canada,
Banff,
250 miles north of the Canadian border, down to the Mexico border in New Mexico.
By himself.
By himself.
By himself.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys,
21 days. It's called the Tour Divide. He did that last July. Yeah, it was scary. Yeah.
I don't know how you sat around. You must have been sitting on pins and needles.
I wasn't sitting around. Y'all know I'm busy, right? So, I did a lot of work.
Well, anyway, he's not just any cyclist, so he definitely would notice the difference. He definitely had some falling down and all kinds of crazy things happening on that trip.
Yes, and pushing his body, 18, 19 hours a day, and at least once a week in there, he was cycling through the night and through the next day as well. So that recovery was, ultra important. Mm-hmm. And out of all the things, because you have to be able to carry your bike and everything you own for 3 weeks on you, because you're climbing up boulders and things, because it's not really a road. It's the Intercontinental Divide. So
it's crazy.
The Continental Divide. So very crazy. So out of all the things he brought, he still had his oils, he still had his supplements. And so BLM was a key part of that. So we didn't have that. Actually, AgilEase had just come out like the week before he left on his tour. So yeah, we use a lot of these products in our home.
I am sure.
Needless to say. Now, it says on here to spread if you look at how to take it, it says to spread it out. Take 1 capsule, 3 times a day, or 4 capsules if you're over 120 pounds, spread out 3 times a day. And it's like, that just usually doesn't work for me. So I take 3 in the morning, and I'll often take 2 or 3 at night as well, just because I'm taking other things throughout the day. And so I feel like it's better to get them in than not get them in. So if you're like, I can never remember to get it in, find a time that you can get it in and get it in. So my stomach's pretty sensitive in terms of like B vitamins and things like that. You want to make sure you have, food on your stomach. But with the BLM, I don't find that at all. Same with AgilEase, same with multigreens, and same with sulfurzyme. So I actually take all of those supplements with just my Ningxia Red and a cup of water first thing in the morning. And then I go and do what I need to do. And then by the time I eat breakfast, an hour or 2 later, I can actually, take my Master Formula and Omega Gi's and all of those with my food. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that helps you get them in, but these are also nutrients in here that sometimes you don't really notice the difference for 1 to 2 months, because if you're really depleted, especially, it can take some time to be building up in the body. When you will notice it, though, is when you stop taking it. And if you've ever heard anybody in the last 15 years or so, I started taking chondroitin, sulfate, whatever, different products, and when they stop, they're like, yikes! Same thing can happen with BLM. So you may notice that in a less good way if you stop taking it. So really be sure to be consistent with your supplements. That's really the key. And if it is something that you need, make sure you have a backup or 10, just in case it goes out of stock, because oftentimes we don't know how long things will be out of stock, because Young Living doesn't always know, right? Based on our products in there. So I am so thankful our company listened to us. Because let's move into AgilEase. AgilEase came out
before we do that. So
yes.
So when AgilEase came out, they took BLM away, and they said, okay, you can just replace BLM with AgilEase, and that's what I did, and I noticed a difference. And I always find it fascinating, because I think, well, maybe that was just me, or maybe it's in my head or something like that. But there was one key thing that Danette told me about a couple weeks ago, that is what I noticed the difference in. And so if you are noticing any kind of difference and you were taking BLM before and you're not now, there is a reason for that. So listen to Danette talk about the differences, but I just got, this is like, I haven't even opened this yet. I just opened my ER order, which I need to unbox with y'all. But they used to have a limit. I bought 4 bottles because my husband and I we've noticed a difference not taking this. And, I'm carrying around a 25-pound baby every day who isn't mobile yet. And so, this is necessary. So I'm so glad that we had that discussion a couple weeks ago. And I wanted to make sure you guys knew you're not crazy. You need to just take your BLM again.
Yes, and what we were talking about had nothing to do with our musculoskeletal system.
No.
Right? And so there are so many systems in our body, right? We have our, urinary system, we have our nervous system, we have, obviously a lot of different systems, but what I'm saying there is that there are so many different benefits that aren't just something.
Well, and y'all need to research these ingredients that are on here. I mean, you can always turn over a bottle of supplements and do a Google search for these ingredients. I mean, MSM and collagen and glucosamine, I mean, these are well-referenced, well-researched ingredients. I mean, this is not rocket science here. What is rocket science for Young Living is that we include balsam, wintergreen, and clove, which makes it completely different than any other kind of these same things that you might be taking. I mean, you can go buy manganese at the store, right? I mean, but it's the way that we marry everything together, and the oils, as you all know, in using just the oils, how much they can change things. Obviously, they are doing something magical in here. I don't know what that is, but if you just research, things like MSM, collagen, whatever, for any kind of thing that you might have going on, you might find, oh my goodness, this is something, that's important for me. And I know that sulfurzyme is important for me and for my children. My daughter gets sulfurzyme. I'm trying to get it into my baby. It's hard to dump that capsule out and find a place to put it, for a baby, but it's really important. That's skin support, guys. It supports all these various systems, and having the oils in there just changes how these things behave in the body. So please do your research, but listen here, read between the lines, whatever you can understand about this. But these supplements are definitely important for everyone, because we just don't get these kinds of things from our food anymore.
Try it. And you can use them on your pets too. These are great products for your pets, by the way.
Dump it on their food.
A few of those, yes. Now BLM with their wintergreen and things like that, they don't like that. But you don't find they'll do it in a capsule. Like I open up the capsules of sulfurzyme on my pet's food, because there's Ningxia wolfberry powder and MSM. That's all that's in there. So that's really easy. But with the other, with BLM and AgilEase, because of kind of the strong smelling oils, oftentimes they won't. But with dogs, you can hide stuff and, whatever. And gulp, it's gone. Cats, a little harder on that. But definitely sulfurzyme goes in all of our pets. And then I use the empty capsules when I need to give them capsules of oils. I just keep all those empty capsules, fill those up, click those down, and they get those as well, with Digest Vitality or anything like that. So
awesome.
Nothing goes to waste in our house. All right, so let's talk about AgilEase a bit. Yes. So what Lindsay said, when AgilEase came out, they were like, this is, I don't know, I think Gary said something like, this is like BLM on steroids or something like that, And so we were like, oh, wow, that's awesome. So we all started taking it, right? Yeah, thanks. And so, but everybody noticed things differently. So if you really are taking BLM to help with joint support and active lifestyle, you probably had a great turnover with AgilEase, that was a great support. Like Lindsay and I were just talking about, there are other great reasons people take BLM. And so within a few months, man, I was on with Dr. Mike and I'm like, please bring BLM back for different reasons for people. And so I was so thrilled that they did that. So we want to make sure that they know by our buying habits that we are happy that it's back, and we want to keep it in our catalog of products, right? So we do love BLM. But AgilEase, it is amazing. Dr. Mike and Gary put together an incredible new blend of nutrients as well as oils. So here are the key ingredients. Number one ingredient, frankincense resin powder.
What?
Right?
Did y'all know that? I don't know if you've ever looked at the back of the bottle of AgilEase. You guys all got it for free. What was it, last month or the month before? Yeah. You got a bottle for free. I want you guys to just comment if you started taking it, or if you weren't sure if you should take it, or if it's just sitting in your pantry, because you have it. And it's amazing that Young Living gives us these things to try.
No kidding, right? So that you can try that and go, that made a big difference in my life. Or I have a friend or a family member that would help with. I'm gonna give that to them and introduce them. These are amazing products, by the way. What we call it, kind of like the makeup, what we talk about, a gateway product into the Young Living lifestyle. These are a great one. Anybody that needs joint support, they just take some garbage from Walmart or, whatever. And, this is apples to onions. These are not similar whatsoever. So have people try, hey, if you give me 30 days or 60 days, on this product and tell me what you find out. That's a great way to encourage people. So with AgilEase, number one ingredient, frankincense resin powder. Then we have calcium fructoborate, which we're going to talk about in a moment. Turmeric, right? A lot of us cook with that. Glucosamine sulfate, hyaluronic acid, potassium chloride, a different kind of collagen, UC2 undenatured collagen. Woo! And then 4 oils, wintergreen, copaiba, clove, and black spruce. So, of course, our frankincense resin, number one ingredient, and this comes from our Oman farm, right? Only Young Living has this.
And you've been there.
I have not been to Oman, actually.
Where'd you guys go? You went to...
Yeah, Croatia was the next one, and France, and so those were the next two. Oman is difficult, as you can imagine, and once you get there, not a lot to do from what I understand. So it's been a little difficult to have them bring all of us over to Oman, as you can imagine, in the Middle East. But how great. Gary is the one that works with these leaders of countries around the world that no one else works with. He has developed these relationships over decades so that we can have these products. We are the only ones that extract frankincense with pure water. Only ones. So I love that Dr. Mike said that we leverage the power of this ingredient and all these health benefits that come with it, and we're the only ones. So when people are talking to you about, whatever company, it's like, again, apples to onions. So blah, 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 try Young Living. AgilEase. The calcium fructoborate as the second ingredient, which is a unique nature-identical form of a mineral boron. And it's a trace mineral that we need for our bones. It's noted as a nutrient woefully lacking on our American soil and consequently our American food supply. Scientists have known for several decades that the depletion of boron in our soil is due to the chemical fertilizers. And you know what they found? That it increased the rate of arthritis around the world. So how crazy is that? So we need this mineral, right? And so there are ways to get that, but even at organic food and things like that, when the soil is depleted, unless it is a healthy one is added back into it, you have to rotate those crops, and pray that stuff comes back into there. So it's good for us to take additional supplements for these things. Boron has been shown to support bone health and provide support for acute inflammation brought on by strenuous exercise. So, if you are out there CrossFitting the daylights out of it, if you're out there hitting the tennis ball longer than you should have, you will appreciate AgilEase. So AgilEase also has turmeric, right, which has been studied and documented to support several body systems. And I can't go into all the benefits, as you know, but go look it up and you'll find that all over the place, right? Whether it's PubMed or, just Google that. I have an organic powder that I add to much of our cooking. And unless you put a ton of it, it really doesn't change the flavor much. So that's all good for you. But I love getting a big old dose of it with my AgilEase. And what's nice about this too is it's so concentrated and with so much of the frankincense powder and all in it that you only need 2 a day. So it's a bottle of 60. So that lasts you 30 days, right? Let's talk about hyaluronic acid that they put in here. Major component of the synovial fluid. You know what that is? That is our great lubricant of our joints. So we have to have a good synovial fluid, and all the cells in the cartilage surrounding the ends of our bones that become our joints right there, they actually secrete the synovial fluid. And when we don't have enough of that hyaluronic acid, we can't secrete enough of that fluid, then it gets dry in there, and then we start wearing down on the cartilage on the ends of those bones right there, and then we're into no fun. No fun, no good feelings. So I love hyaluronic acid for that. It is found to increase the viscosity of the fluid as well, right? Making it more viscous so we have better cushioning and better action back and forth in those joints. So it is one of the fluid's main lubricating components. So you do want this for your joints. Do not wait until you have some kind of an injury or something from whatever. Tennis elbow, you can get that from carrying a baby. It doesn't have to be playing tennis.
Or a wrist, yes.
That's right. Exactly right. All the mamas said, amen. All right. Hyaluronic acid is an important component of the articular cartilage, like I was talking about, because it secretes that synovial fluid, because it coats each cell on that. And so we want to protect not only our articular cartilage covering the bone in the joint, but also that synovial fluid, right? So it's a win-win with this. And then they added on the UC2 undenatured collagen. Very valuable form of collagen. When I say valuable, I mean expensive, like nobody uses it because of the expense. And it supports cartilage health in joints. Dr. Mike said, this collagen is the most bioactive collagen in the world. And that's why he put it in here. He said that all the ingredients here in AgilEase are to dampen the body's inflammation response, right? That is the goal. So remember, on top of AgilEase, of course, we want to eat healthy foods that are anti-inflammatory foods, right? We don't want to eat foods that are acidic in our body, because acid in our body creates inflammation, and that inflammation is what causes disease processes, right? So we want to stop that nice and early on and get the acid out of our diets and out of our lifestyle. And stress causes acid, and inflammation in the body. All of these things create that. So the more we can, this is why we talk about the wild lifestyle, not just you got to take this supplement. It's a lifestyle, right? So that you are living healthy now and later.
Amen.
I know you want to jump in with something.
No, I'm like.
All right, so we also provide different essential oil blend in AgilEase than in BLM. AgilEase uses clove and wintergreen like BLM, but then they added, of course, the Frank powder, right? That's a good deal. And then Copaiba and Northern Lights black spruce. So those all do the support for normal inflammatory responses as well as bone health. So one of these things, they do contain animal products. So if you have vegans or strict vegetarians, they'll want to be using the sulfurzyme only. But these are fantastic products for your body, and our body actually needs the proteins and these ingredients to build bone. So just wanted to put that in there. So I encourage you guys to try each of these products. Try them separately. See how your body feels on them. Perhaps try them in combo too. And maybe if you're, early on, just starting to try them, maybe you just do 2 BLM and 2 AgilEase a day, kind of a thing, unless you're really needing that extra support. Both products were designed for bone, cartilage, and joints.
That's actually a question that I think a lot of people ask, and I have the same question as well with sulfurzyme and with BLM. AgilEase, good. I can take 2. I know I'm good. But with BLM, you can really ramp up to quite a number of pills. I know when when Evan was recovering from his injury, sports-related injury. He was taking like 4 BLMs 3 times a day. So I just want to throw that out there for people to hear that, to know that you can ramp up as much as you need to with both of these. And with Sulfurzyme, you can kind of tell when you've ramped up enough, because your stomach will start to tell you. But people take a lot of Sulfurzyme, and if you need that kind of support with BLM2, you can do that.
Absolutely. And we talk about therapeutic dosing. So when something happens, like that happened to Evan, right? You have a sports injury, or all of a sudden something comes up, you want to just really ramp that up and hold that high, and then you go down into a maintenance dose, right? So people are like, oh my gosh, if they start with something like Evan, and you're like, okay, what if you were taking 10, 15 BLM a day? Okay, that isn't forever.
No.
But it is what your body needs right now. This is when you are thankful to have these products to be able to help support, acute things, and then go into a maintenance mode so that you're supporting your natural, healthy body.
We went through a lot of BLM in this house, a lot of Sulfurzyme, and we were very thankful for it.
Exactly right. And so we're so thankful they brought it back, because I'd be having to ship it here from Australia or something. That's kind of backwards how things usually work there. But I think there's not too early of a time to start supporting your connective tissue, right? I would have loved, I fractured my back in 6 places when I was in 7th grade. I would have loved to have had this product, shall I just say, to help my bone support. All we knew at that point, was calcium, and yeah, at that point it wasn't even the calcium that your body uses so much, right? It was ground up shells. And so totally different. And yet that's, that was the knowledge at the time. Sounds like it was the 1800s, but it wasn't. But our research has gone forward so much that we have amazing abilities to help support our body. And of course, with our food supply, that has decreased as well for those nutrients that we need. And I mean, I say active lifestyle, not everybody has an active lifestyle, right? A lot of us work behind desks a lot. And so we actually have to make a really conscious effort and time commitment and schedule and everything to make that happen, as opposed to going out and your job is working in the field and being physical all day or something.
Right. Well, that was fantastic information. I really appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else that you want to share with us about both of these products?
Well, I just want you to encourage you guys, yourselves, your members, your customers, to take responsibility for your own health and try these products, right? Encourage the use of them. Don't let them waste their money buying garbage that's less effective and definitely, less useful for the body. And of course, doesn't have the oils in there that increases that bioavailability. So our body can use that on top of their own actions. So put BLM and or AgilEase on your ER order and leave it there. Our family, we use 4 BLM now that they finally raised the limit just last week. So I don't think there's a limit right now. So we'll have 4 BLM on our ER every month. And then we each take AgilEase, so 2 of those. And be consistent with your daily supplements, right? And then go out there and have a great time. Live your life. Live a good, full, active life. That's what I want to encourage you guys to do. And I just appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for having me join you today, Lindsay. What a pleasure.
Thank you so much. And this was great information. And if you need to watch it again and again and take some notes, you are welcome to. And again, I'm going to post it on YouTube so that you can share this in your other usage groups and with people that need this information. Thank you so much, Danette. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.